So now what I want to try to do is see if I can create an app widget that basically, this is going to be my phone automation project now. What I want to do with that is make it so that I can create a widget that automatically force stops an app. And that's not something that's been done by a whole lot of people. So hopefully we'll be able to do that today. So back when Android 12 first came out, I kept having issues with Bluetooth where the connection just kept dropping out for whatever reason. And the way I worked around that was I just force stopped Bluetooth. I didn't have to restart my phone if I would have force stopped Bluetooth. And I also have an app that I use to control my hearing aids over Bluetooth. That thing can freeze up a lot over time. And force stopping the app will force it to restart and then it becomes responsive again. But it's annoying to have to force stop it all the time. So, just to illustrate what I'm talking about here. Let's see. Pull up my phone screen. So if I go to the settings on my Samsung phone, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and I would have searched like Smart 3D, which was always the app that I was force stopping. Just tap it and then I can force stop it here in the corner. But sometimes I'm in a hurry and I want to real quickly configure this. And I don't always want to have to force stop it and whatnot. Then one thing I like to do, I guess it's not quite fitting on the screen properly. Sorry about my lack of preparedness. But, so if I switch my hearing aid mode, and I switch to a favorite, for example, see, I'm trying to swipe right now, and it was lagging big time. Now it's not lagging, but when I switch modes, it'll lag massively. The way I can fix that is force stopping the app, which is quite handy. So, essentially what I want to automate today is creating a widget that can force stop an app and then start it up once it's done that. So rather than just starting the app right out of the gate, have it force stop before it starts, and then I never have to deal with that lag again if it works. So there's probably multiple ways you can do this. A lot of them involve rooting the phone, which I don't want to do with this one because it's a risky procedure, it voids the warranty, and it's just a hassle overall. So I don't want to root my phone for that type of thing. I think you can actually use the Tasker app to create a widget that force stops an app. I think Automate does have the ability to force stop an app as well, but I don't think you can create a widget for it if I'm not mistaken, unfortunately. So Tasker is like $2.50 USD dollars if I remember correctly, but I ended up getting it because I was pretty sure I'd be able to force stop the app before I started up and create a widget for it. So yeah, what we're going to do now is basically create that widget. Let's come onto my phone and do that. So we're going to see if we can create a widget that force stops this app, for example, and starts it back up automatically. Of course, there are some ways you can like go to the force stop screen manually and just have it tap locations on the screen. But that's kind of unreliable, and I don't want to do stuff that involves automating tapping the screen to do all this and going through different screens. I want to just force stop right out of the gate directly. Then I don't have to deal with any nonsense in between. So to do that, I installed Tasker here on Android, and looks like it can't be battery optimized, otherwise it won't work correctly. Let's do that real quick. Oh, great. I'm gonna figure this out on my own and I'll let you know what I did. I think for now, the only thing I'm gonna worry about is just making sure that the app doesn't go to sleep in the background. So on the settings, I'm gonna scroll down to battery stuff right here. This is how I'm doing this on my phone. Background usage limits, never sleeping apps. And then I just select Tasker from this list right here. Not sure what's going on. Guess I'm gonna have to pause and see what's going on there. To be honest, I'm thinking it's not gonna be that big of a deal because it's just gonna be a widget that I click on. So why don't we try creating the widget that can force stop and then start the app. So I think in the task interface, you want to go to tasks right here. I think you have to do some sort of step when you hook it up to your computer first. I honestly have no idea if I even did that. I might have hooked it up to my computer and it just did stuff on its own. I don't remember doing anything regarding that, but it seems to be fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the plus down here to create a new task. And I'm just going to create one myself. And I think this is where you want to title it. I'm just going to call it Smart 3D since that's the app I want to do it with personally. So I've never done this before, so I'm figuring things out on the spot, just so you know. So I'm going to click this plus right here. And under the categories, I'm going to see if there's one for force quitting. I may just want to search right here. Force stop or something. I honestly can't remember. Oh, app maybe? Kill app. Maybe that's what I want to do. Killing app is different from just swiping it on this screen right here. Doing this is not the same thing as force stopping. So I'm kind of hoping that this kill app does what I want. I guess we'll find out. So I'm going to select Smart 3D. Oh, look at that. I'm getting this even though I'm not actually hooked up via USB right now. This is all wireless. Yeah, it looks like this is exactly what I want. So since I don't have root, I don't think I can check the use root. I'm not sure what this means, to be perfectly honest. There's no special conditionals with that. So I think that might be all I would want to do. So that's great. I was actually referencing a website, so I'm gonna pull it up real quick. I'm gonna come to here, then pull up the website real quick, so maybe we could do a snap transition. Ready? Okay, so this website right here is the one that I'm referencing. So this is kind of where I got the idea from. So basically, first thing you do is kill app, and then this will flash text saying that it did that. I really don't care whether it does that or not. And then the last thing we have to do is load app. So I'm gonna ignore that number 2 that you can see right here. Just do the load app number 3. So I'm just gonna go to app, I think. Load app. Oh, launch app. Can long click an app to do a sub activity within it. That's interesting. I don't think it applies to me right now though. So I want to launch Smart 3D. A new copy. I don't know if I need to check that continue after error or not. But I don't really care a whole lot. So now the task basically exists, so I should be able to click on it and edit it. I could probably click the play button on the left, but I want to create a widget and try it with that first. So I think to create a widget, I want to go to the home page, pinch my fingers like this, and I should be able to go to widgets down there. And if I look for tasker, I should in theory be able to do task shortcut, add, data blocked. I wonder what that's all about. If I just close out of what I just did, that help at all? Open the main app and back out of it with the back button. What if I terminate this? Does that fix it at all? Oh, perfect. Oh, I must have had to go to a specific screen, and it required a lot of conditions to be met to make that happen. So let's click on Smart 3D. So that's not what I wanted, I don't think. Select an icon for this task. What? Oh, sweet, I can select what icon I want. Let's do that one. Because I have the app and the dock on the bottom. That'd be cool to replace it with this. So, is this my task? If so, that would be pretty sweet. It's the same name as the original app since I titled it that. So if that works, I'm gonna put this where that used to be and put this up there probably, so I still have access to it. So will it restart? Let's find out. Just gonna check always allow. It must have worked. Yeah, usually it takes a while to connect if I force stop it, but if I don't force stop it, it connects sooner, I think. So we can tell if it worked based on how quickly I can tap stuff. It was lagging and stuff. Let's see if it no longer lags. So why don't I do something like this? It worked. Everything is responsive. Remember how I used to lag when I was swiping up here? Well, force stopping it is what made it no longer lag. It worked. So now I'll never have to put up with the lag again. I used to have to go to the settings and force stop it manually, which took a lot of time. But now I can force stop it every time I launch it, which is what it actually used to do when I first got the app. It just naturally completely stopped everything, and now it somehow runs as a service, which I don't want. Well, maybe I do want that, but if I could force stop it on launch. Yeah, it worked. It definitely force stopped it. It wouldn't have been that responsive if it didn't. I can confirm that it worked. So that means I'm going to drag this out here, put this here. So now it'll force stop whenever. I'm going to put this on the next screen. I just got very used to how this looks. Oh, and I can do accessibility right here. So I can quickly access that. So that's a shortcut you can add too. That's very useful to know. That's awesome. So if you ever need to force stop an app before you start it, maybe because it's slow and force stopping it will speed everything up and clear stuff out, then this might actually work. There might be a free solution to do this, but this was easy. Let's just put it that way. I don't need to worry about any of the background stuff that we were looking at earlier because it doesn't require that for this type of task. So I'm not going to worry about that. There's probably some other cool widgets you can create too. I'm just going to take a quick look and see what else I could possibly do. Just create a test one. Alert. That could potentially be useful. There's a lot of potential when it comes to Android automation. That's something that I've never taken the time to learn, and it's something I want to learn how to do this year. So that's actually pretty cool. There's probably other things you can do with apps too. I was just seeing if there's anything I can immediately think of regarding. You can set a volume to a specific point. That could be quite useful. What if we can like pull up a specific accessibility screen? I don't want to do any of that right now. But I'll explore this someday and see what kind of stuff I can automate, but I imagine there's a ton of potential. But I also kind of prefer Automator, which I think I have. Automate, I mean. Yeah, this is the flowchart system. It can do a lot of different things similar to Tasker, but Tasker has a way to create a widget, as we just saw. It might be possible to do that with Automate too. Oh, Automate might have been able to accomplish the same thing. I'll maybe see if it's possible someday, but yeah, I definitely want to get into the world of automation and see what cool stuff I can do. So that's that. I can't believe that was actually successful. Usually when I try to do stuff like this, it ends up being a failure. And of course, when I do it on camera, it ends up being successful now, so that's pretty cool. To give a quick status update, I actually changed quite a few things around because after a while, I noticed that the force stop actually doesn't really work now. So to fix it, I actually changed the shortcut so now it pulls this up instead of actually force restarting it and then pulling up the app. Because what I could do here is force stop. And I can tell whether force stop based on whether or not that grays out. I could hit force stop multiple times if needed. Then I could just open up the app by hitting open right here. So pretty simple. I could do that pretty quickly. And to make that happen, Tasker also got an update since last time too, by the way. And I had to recreate my shortcut because there's new security related stuff. Sorry if it's hard to see, by the way. This is the best way I wanted to film right now. All I really did was select the app settings, which I forgot if it was in here somewhere. Well, regardless, I think it's under here. App settings. Yeah, app settings. And then I selected the Smart 3D. And there you go. That's pretty much all I ended up doing. So I'm going to delete that on my own time, but that's what I actually do nowadays. So that's the app automation. Have a good day.